Our show today is brought to you by Brown's Floral, and today would be a wonderful day if you want to beat the rush. But of course, you can buy tomorrow. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day.
Woo!
Get your loved one and your Valentine a dozen roses, maybe 2 dozen roses. Maybe
Make it 3.
3 dozen.
Make it
roses.
3.
Well, that might be too much. You might have done something wrong. 2 dozen. 2 dozen roses, and I guarantee your Valentine will be happy. Visit Brown's Floral. Our show today is also brought to you by the Enchanted Forest Bar and Grill, located at 3705 Ann Arbor Road. Daily specials, breakfast and Bloody Mary Bar,
Ooh.
Sundays 7 a.m. to
Yeah.
3 p.m. And they're also open for lunch and dinner. And they have a Valentine's Day special. Visit enchantedforest.com. They have a dinner for 2 for only $35.
So get the flowers and then
2 dozen flowers, go over to the
and then
Enchanted
go to the
Forest.
Enchanted Forest. And I've heard they have a great Mediterranean hummus plate.
Yes,
so
they do.
That is on my to-do
Yes,
list.
they do.
So Mondays are the best day of the week, and we're going to start it off with Extra Sunshine and Joy with my dear friend Janke, the author of Splashes of Spirit, A Guide to Joy. And there is nobody better to talk to the world about joy than my friend Jan. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm
How are
excited to be here.
We're excited, very excited to have you here. I know you as a track and field and cross country legendary wife.
He was my claim to fame.
That's right. But no, as I know, a coach's wife is just as important as the coach. Trust me. And that's of course how I know you. But I'm anxious to hear about this guide to joy, because I think we all have a hard time finding joy sometimes.
We do.
Yeah.
And it's different for everyone. So knowing what is your joy is key, and then being intentional about it, which of course I cover totally in the book. So I listened to you this morning and I hear what makes you joyful and gives you a heart attack.
Yeah.
It is, right. So you understand that, of course. Yeah. Talk a little bit about how you decided to put this down into a book. How long had you decided to work on this? How long has this been out? Tell us a little of your story.
Oh, it's a long story, and it's all here in bits and pieces. And I'll just say, one of the things that I'm really excited about with this book still is that it contains so many stories of my friends and dear people in my life.
Cool.
Nice.
And that was something when I started writing that I learned to ask. People wanted to know, tell me about people who stay joyful or find their joy even in real life.
Yeah.
You know, things happen, and how do you do that? So it's a collection of a lot of my friends and people that I love. So to share those people with the world, that's pretty wonderful.
And how did you get there? Like, what did you do before you were a world famous author?
World famous. You're pretty funny, Jennifer. It's been a process. You know, you look back and you see how things sort of unfolded. And I was a teacher and loved teaching, mostly English, and knew I loved to read to kids, loved books, and sort of always thought that I would maybe write a book, but I thought a kid's book. That was in my mind.
Yeah.
But then I ended up retiring from teaching earlier than I thought, and a couple of my friends were great speakers, and they were Toastmasters people.
Oh.
So I thought about joining Toastmasters, scared to death, and went. And there are lots of wonderful local Toastmasters if anybody's interested in that.
Nice.
But what happened then that really triggered things is I met a gal through a network marketing company who was a coach. And previous to that, my pastor had been talking about mission statements.
Okay.
And he said, if you think you're going to retire and read junky novels, it's like, and I'm thinking, my novels aren't junky, my pile of books that I want to read. But it made me start thinking and start working on that process of getting my mission statement written.
Okay.
And I worked really hard, and it wasn't coming together until I hired my friend for a coach. So then I discovered my God-given purpose is to splash His love and joy onto everyone. And what happened, in much more detail in the book, but that message then becomes more important than the fear.
Okay.
so that just kind of pushed me. You know, when you have a message to share or something that you feel like everybody needs to know, then that's the focus, and that's what has made a difference. And then COVID hit, and I had lots of Toastmaster speeches that I could kind of put together. Sam Horn, who is one of my an amazing person, teacher, and she taught every step of the way how to write and publish a book.
Oh, beautiful.
And that's what I did. So it's been out almost 2 years now.
Nice.
Charlie got to read it. There's a lot of him in the book, so I'm really glad about that he got to see it too. Yeah.
So I've known Jan for a very, very long time, and every time I see her, it doesn't matter how I might feel going into the interaction, I always leave it with a big smile on my face and a full heart. And to be able to spread that, I mean, you walk the walk and you talk the talk and you do it. But then to be able to pen it so that other people, you know, can find their joy and how to live in joy, find it and repeat it and keep doing it has been such a beautiful gift. And your life has changed a lot over the last 2 years. And some people would crawl in a hole and just let the darkness cover them. But you have not done that. You continue to spread joy. So what advice do you have for our viewers that may have had life not go their way and they're not feeling joy?
Because life is hard. We all know that.
Yes.
Life is difficult.
Yes, and I just got to speak a couple of weeks ago, and it gave me a chance to kind of rewrite my message. And it's basically what happens when you get thrown out of the boat.
Sure.
What happens. And truly for the first 8 months, and you saw me and you walked with me when all I could do was cry. And I'm not a crier, you know, but that was it. And I had friends, have wonderful dear friends, and you know who you are.
Yes.
That literally carried me through.
Yeah.
I have one part 3 of my book is splash habits, things that you can do intentionally to keep your joy, or to get to it, or to keep it. And there was one, the H is hold your purpose in your heart.
Okay.
I couldn't. I knew it here, but my heart was ripped out. And I had friends who held my purpose in my heart and walked right alongside me. They were present. They believed in me and that I would come back. And so to answer your question too, Jennifer, I was intentional about moving. I knew, I mean, not just moving from my lake house to condo, but moving my body.
Yes.
I did that like right after Charlie died. I was outside every day. It didn't matter the weather. I just had to be.
Yes.
And if I could do it with a friend, that was even better.
Yes.
You know, so those two things for me, the social connections and the physical movement were most helpful. But that was just sort of like maintaining.
Okay.
And it's still, just being intentional about your joy.
Yeah.
Like knowing that's something that you want is huge.
Awesome.
And Charlie would just say there are no paragraphs in what I just said.
Yeah.
I didn't stop. I love this topic.
I'm excited. I'm gonna start. Thank you for bringing me a copy. I'm gonna start tonight. What do you hope that I get from this book?
Oh,
What do you think I'll get from this
I
book?
would, and this is for everybody who reads it. This is my prayer. I believe that true joy is knowing who you are and becoming who you are created to be.
Very good.
So can I tell you a most magnificent truth about you?
Sure.
This is true. You are extraordinary. You are. Of the more than 100 billion people who have ever walked the face of this earth, you are one of a kind.
Oh, that's a
A
beautiful.
priceless treasure.
People need to remember that.
Yes, they
People
for
do.
Sure.
So call me. If I can tell you that,
I'm
I
gonna
would
start
be
calling
happy.
Jan every
Right?
morning. Get me going.
Yes. Do you still do your splash calls?
No, I
Oh,
haven't
you
done them
should.
for about a year.
Oh.
But I had 500 calls, so just that
Really?
Bart has 5,000 is
That's crazy.
amazing.
Isn't that
Amazing.
wild?
Yeah.
Well, you're going to have to come back and see us again because
Yes.
we're already out of time.
Yes, but I just want to make sure that
Please.
everybody knows, and this would be a great Valentine gift for anybody that's
Yes.
close to your heart, friends, family. It's available right next door at the Blessed Nest. Splashes of Spirit, A Guide to Joy, and it's also available in Brooklyn at
Village Peddler.
the Village Peddler.
And Amazon.com.
And Amazon.com. But if you go to the Village Peddler or Blessed Nest today, you'll have it all wrapped up for your Valentine tomorrow.
Awesome.
And it's on Amazon, so if you go, it's splashesofspirit.com is the
Okay.
book website, so
Very
you
cool.
can get
Oh,
there.
wonderful.
Jan, thank you so much for sharing some time with us this morning, and of course your wonderful book. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
It's
you.
fun to be here with you.
Jan Janke, author here on The Morning Show. We have more coming up after this quick break.